my mind, I'm always the best. I don't care what the people thinking, what they say. In my mind, not just this year, but always, I'm always the best. I'm always going to say that because I think we have to thinking we are the best in our area. So in my area, I think I'm the best.
We're constantly stressing the importance of your mentality and mindset to improve your game and your life, which is why we at Team GOLUREMI talk to leaders in their field to figure out how we can get better at the things that we do. And when we say leaders, we mean leaders, okay? Proper leaders. We've already spoken to Jim Aframo, who is the author of The Champion's Mind. He's personally studied with guys like Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. He knows what's up, and today we are blessed with Dr. Dean Radin, the chief scientist at the Institute of Noetic Science. He is basically an expert in helping you train and structure your brain to get what you want. So the full podcast is out on 11th Commandment right now. That is our second channel. If you enjoy this clip, go and check out the full podcast right over there and subscribe and enjoy. Later.
The Way of Will John.
We have focused concentration on something. When you're out there on the field and you're focusing on the goal or whatever it is, that is not random. You're highly focused.
Well, you mentioned intention and attention, and I think you kind of put together a recipe for what was needed to make that change within. Is that it? Or how what I intend to do? What's the separation there? And is there something else missing in that little recipe that would allow someone to then change their world or to have an effect on the physical world, whether big or small?
So attention is talking about attending to something. It's simply the act of focusing upon without intention. So intention means that you are attending, but you also have a desire. You have a will. You want something. So that's what the intention is. It's an additional spin on the attention. So the attention is simply, you can imagine that this is the flashlight model of attention, where you can pay attention to a wide area, or you can kind of focus it down, pay very close attention to one thing. So that's like how wide your flashlight is and where do you point it.
I see.
The intention.
So you want laser point attention in that sense. It's focused on this and not ignoring this. Okay, sometimes.
Yeah, like if somebody who's involved, like a police officer maybe, or a jet pilot, they need situational awareness. They need to be paying attention to everything because you don't want to miss something that's happening off to the side. So depending on the context, you either want wide situation awareness or a highly focused awareness. So the thing in meditation, it's slightly different in that you want to get to a point where you're not trying to do anything, right? So if you think about the act of concentrating, that requires a certain amount of effort because it's not easy to pull down your concentration and focus on one thing. If you try to do that, it's self-defeating within a meditative state. So there, it's like Yoda said, there is no try. There is do or not do. So you get to that strange internal state of effortless striving. You are concentrating, but with no effort at all. And it takes a while to figure out what that even means, but nevertheless, that's where you're going. And then it becomes a completely effortless task, but it could have extremely high concentration at the same time. So that's quite different than everyday way of being. So once you learn how to do that within a meditative state, you have this effortless striving, high focus. You then put an intentional spin on it, which is I want this. Again, with no effort and no anxiety, which is not easy to do. But those are the states within magical traditions, for example, of how do I affirm something that will actually be more likely to occur? It's not guaranteed to occur, but you can increase the probability of it. That's what we see in these experiments. You increase the probability of a certain outcome through focused attention without anxiety, plus an intentional, I think of it as a spin. Sure. The intention itself is like a stable laser beam. It's just there, doesn't do anything. But if you spin it, you're now making it do something.
I see. I see it.
The example that you just gave was a perfect being in the zone state where you're mentally there and you're not there at the same time, and your body knows what to do. That is as a discipline. You see it in golf. You see it in all kinds of physical activities where the moment you can get your mind out of thinking about the game is where the magic happens. And so not only to you, but even the audience can feel that. Like the one of the prototypical cases here is Michael Jordan, who appeared to defy physics occasionally. Well, that was never tested as far as I can tell, but it sometimes these things happen, and it happens more often in sports than it does in many other domains.
100%. And as a matter of fact, most of the same amount of dogma is there. Most people won't speak about it if it does happen to them. And I've never heard anyone tell me that, but I know for sure, based on what we know about visualization, and that some guys, when they perform well, they're aware that there's some state, there's something you can do to enhance yourself in a way that we truly don't quite get. Right. With this flow state. And it does happen in golf. And I've read books about it happening in American football. And there's even a hilarious story of a goalie in soccer who actually felt as if he saved a bunch of penalty kicks. And he felt as if after the game, he told that he was watching his body from outside of it. And he somehow just knew what to do. And he didn't. So yeah, it does happen. So yeah, awesome. We'll definitely have to do that next time. I appreciate you taking the time, and we will see you guys all later. All right. Peace.